Hi.
Good evening, everybody. Today is my favorite day of the week. You know why? Because it's Thursday, and Thursdays mean
The short and sweet session.
that it's time for the short and sweet session. Our last session with my dear friend in Copenhagen, Julie, lasted 1.5 hours because we had so much to talk about. But it's 40 degrees, which means I think it's like almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit here in Berlin. So we're going to try to keep it short and sweet. We'll see, because tonight my very special guest is a very, very dear friend of mine whom I cherish and love. And we've got lots to talk about. She's a goddess of soul. She's probably the hardest working woman in showbiz on this side of the pond. She's a beloved singer representing the legacy of people like Aretha Franklin, Mahalia Jackson, and all of the greats. And she's a queen in her own right. So if you guys are ready, let's roll the intro. Next up on the short and sweet session.
The short and sweet session.
From Gainesville, Georgia, Ingrid Arthur is a goddess of soul, an in-demand vocalist, producer, choir director with an immense impact not only in the Berlin music community, but far beyond. Her European invasion began with the Golden Gospel Singers and the German version of Little Shop of Horrors at the Metropol Theatre in Vienna. Since then, she's appeared on stages throughout the world, recorded 2 albums as one half of the iconic duo The Weather Girls, and in 2011, Ingrid went on to soaring new heights as a successful solo artist. Join us for a talk about her journey, what drives her, and why she's easily named the hardest working woman in showbiz. Up next. Yes, okay guys, if you guys are ready, please help me welcome the lovely, the one and only goddess of soul, my dear, beautiful friend, the one and only Miss Ingrid Arthur. You're live!
Hello, folks.
Cheers, cheers. Yes.
Cheers, my dear.
How are you doing, my love? You look beautiful with your little tropical backdrop. I love it. Yes.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure where to put you. Well, there's a beautiful picture of me hanging over here. There's a beautiful picture of my husband and I on our wedding day. And I was like, where? I just said, let me go here.
It's 40 degrees, so you took us down to the tropics to make it look
That's
like
right.
we're... Yeah.
That's right.
Ingrid Arthur, I'm so happy to finally to have a chance to sit down and talk to you, because although we've known each other for several years now, I feel that I've known you much longer than that. But because we got to know each other in such a short time, it's like, okay, I think I know everything about you, but I actually don't. I don't know the story prior to Berlin. So I'm so happy that we get this chance to just talk about your journey, because you've been such an instrumental part of the music community here in Berlin, representing not only the American voices, but just gospel music, spirituality, and all that the church music brings to the German population here as well, and beyond. So, I just want to go very basic and ask you about the Ingrid that I didn't know, the Ingrid from America. Like, what was the first moment that where you were bit by the bug of music, and the first inspiration that made you sing?
Oh, goodness. I would have to say high school, doing musical theater. I was always a shy one.
Oh, really?
So my theater teacher heard me singing in the bathroom.
Wow.
I grew up in the church choir, singing with the children's choir. But that was, and the youth. Then I went to the.
Were you the soloist already at that time?
I was a soloist when I got to the youth.
Okay.
But I did sing a little bit of Jesus Loves Me, this I know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But she heard me in the high school girls' bathroom, and from then on I started doing musical theater. And then from there I went to Valdosta State for 1 year. And then from there I took off to New York City.
York City.
York City.
Where we all learn to hustle.
Okay.
Or step our hustle
City's
up.
so nice, they named it twice. Oh God, how you talk about a hustle?
The hustle.
I couldn't get ahead.
Actually, you
That
know
was
what?
determined.
You told me a funny story because you told me that we actually had a mutual friend in common, Miss Maria Davis, that you said that you were, because when I first came to New York, Maria Davis, who for the people out there who don't know who she was a very instrumental promoter
Yeah.
in the scene who when Puffy came up, and Biggie and all those people, Faith Evans, a lot of these
Jay-Z.
people, Jay Z
Yeah.
came through. She was the
Yeah.
showcase that everybody was showing up and
right.
turning up, and you were working with her, but we never met each other. Isn't that crazy that
Honey, I was working at the door taking all that money. Right.
which is the reason why you're so good with business, which we're going to talk about
Okay.
later.
A flyer get you in for 15.
Say what?
If you had a flyer, would get you in for 15.
Okay.
If you had on sneakers, that was 20. What? If you had on blue jeans, that was 50.
I
And I was
love it.
popping. I had my
love
earpiece
it.
in, security guard back there in the back,
Oh,
popping
my
it,
God.
counting that money.
Oh my God, the hustle.
I enjoyed that. I
Okay.
enjoyed that.
And when you learn that in New York City, you can take that anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah. And you probably can charge double.
Double. Yeah. I took that money, honey. She told me what it was. I said, got you.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing how
She knew I had worked at the bank, at Citibank. That was one of my first jobs in New
Yeah?
York City.
Wow.
Citibank.
So she was
So
like,
she knew
okay,
I
I'm
knew
gonna
how to
grab
count
her.
money.
I can trust
Yeah.
her with the money. Wow. So the journey from New York City, was that a place for you? You obviously learned a few tricks there and probably came more into your own. But what was the in the intro? I briefly mentioned that your European invasion began with the Little Shop of Horrors at the theater in Vienna. Could you talk more about how you transition? What was the transition and or the chance that made you explore Europe and eventually invade Europe?
My start here in Europe was definitely the Golden Gospel Singers.
Yes.
It was a gospel group.
Mm-hmm.
He came into Melba's open mic where I was working,
Oh,
heard
okay.
me singing, offered me a contract. I double checked it with my mom. She said, as long as you have a round trip ticket, here I am. I'm in my 20s, still asking my mom questions.
Yeah, what to do?
And it just so happened that he gave me a one way. I said, my mom said I can't come unless I have a round trip ticket. But sure enough, I ended up staying longer than anticipated, which I understood why he gave the one way. But that's how I got over here with the Golden Gospel.
He
And
saw
from
that
there,
already. Yeah.
I stayed.
That's
I came with him for about 5 or 6 years. Bob Golden Singleton, rest in peace. And I stayed with him for about 5 or 6 years. And then I just decided to pack up and leave New York. I said, what the hell? I'm not married, no children. Let me run while I yet can.
And she did.
Yeah.
I have the first video of several that I want to show from the vaults of Ingrid Arthur, and we're talking about gospel. And this first clip that I want to show the people of you is you with a project that you produced called the Black Voices of America. Is that correct? And
The Gospel Voices of America.
Gospel Voices of
Took
America.
the color out because I want to hire people. I want to hire Andy. I want to hire other cultures, So I took the color out and say the Gospel Voices of America.
But this song is Amazing Grace. So, guys out there, here is a little snippet of Ingrid singing Amazing Grace. Yes, ma'am. Ingrid Arthur singing "Amazing Grace." This really shows the root of your being. I want to ask you a little bit more about what gospel, because you have been such an instrumental part of expanding gospel here, not only in Berlin but beyond Germany and
Yeah.
Norway. You've done so many projects beyond with gospel. What has it meant for you to see the power of gospel in this side of the world that perhaps didn't grow up with it, and see the
Yeah.
works that it does to people?
Well, I think I always say that music speaks louder than words.
Mm.
And music sets the tone, music sets the mood for whatever situation you're in, which is why I always say be careful of what you listen to.
Yeah.
Because music can make you do some crazy things. Music can make you fall in love. Music can make you feel joyful, happy, sad. And I think for me, gospel has always um, been my base.
Mm.
I always go back to it, no
Yeah.
matter how short I have fallen. I always go back to the gospel. No matter what I've done, I always go back to the gospel because it, for one, stays the same.
Yeah.
It stays the
Amen.
same.
Yeah.
Uh, and for the people who I have had the privilege of just sharing it with, you know, it's new to them, and some have heard it, but some have never connected
Mm.
to it. And I find that a lot over here.
Yeah.
They love it, they like it, but they're not connected.
Yeah.
I always try in my workshop to get them connected to it so that they know that no matter what their life is like, I promise you, the gospel you can always go to.
Amen. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, because now I've done this for the past 12 weeks, and it's
Yeah.
been an interesting journey to speak to different people who, well, probably because I picked them, most of them had, the church foundation. I'm not
Yeah.
exclusively asking people to come on the show who have a church foundation. It's really
Yeah.
about people who have followed their inner voice and somehow, followed that intuition to manifest it and turn it into their life's work. And
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
did that, because there is really no manual for us, especially us singers. And not only singers, you have to become a good business person, an entrepreneur. Look at it from an
Yeah.
entrepreneurial side. So in gospel music, it seems like that gospel music, because it never goes out of fashion, that it always
never.
provides for us, right?
Yeah.
It always provides for us.
It will. It will.
It doesn't leave us with this the hottest thing at the moment, because you're not chasing something to be hot at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah. Yeah.
So from gospel music, obviously you master all styles. From having seen you on stage, you not only master gospel but soul, R&B, pop. You do it all.
Yeah.
And this next video that I want to show, I want to talk about it first. You you were part of carrying on the legacy of the disco duo, the legendary The Weather Girls.
Ah.
And a few weeks ago, I had our dear friend DeRay talk a little bit
Yay.
about it.
I saw
And
it,
she mentioned how she got into it, but actually you did it before DeRay did it. And I actually don't even know the story, how you became part of this legacy. So maybe you would like to share a little bit about how that came to be.
Well, as you spoke of Little Shop of Horror, I was in Austria doing that show.
Yeah.
And the mother had fallen ill somewhat. Miss Azora had
Yeah.
fallen ill. And her daughter, Danielle, was looking for another singer. I got in there through another friend of mine named Deidre Jones. Gave her my name and number. We kind of met a little bit here in Berlin, and she called me in Austria at the time that she was in need of a singer, and I couldn't do it for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So then when I finally got a chance to come in with them, I met Miss Azora, wonderful, wonderful.
The original
Lady.
with Martha Wash.
I mean, the original. You can't get no original than that. She is definitely the original. And during her course of being sick, and then Danielle had 2 strokes back to back. We were trying to keep it going.
Yeah.
So I was taking Dee's place, and I was taking Mama's place, as they were calling her Mama.
Yeah.
And when she finally took her resting place, Before she did, the office had called me and asked me if I could step in
Yeah.
and take Miss Idora's place. And that was some huge shoes to try to fill, but we tried.
Yeah. Well,
You
you
know, we did
did.
2 or 3 albums, and
Yeah.
our friendship was a pack.
Yeah.
And but life moves on. People
Yeah.
move on,
Yeah.
and it's called the next chapter, the next season, whatever you want to call it, the next month, the next year, however you want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so at that time, I was doing a lot of other work because my name was getting out there because of James Last and
Yes.
working at the Weather Girl. So then I guess I am assuming that Dee asked Dore to come and take my place. So, and that's how that happened. So I took Miss Idora's place for about 6 or 7 years, and then Dore had the opportunity to come and take my place. So it was
Wonderful.
cool, and it's called moving on.
Called Moving On. And
Yeah.
you were singing this mega hit, which has blessed us for decades. Here's a little snippet of It's Raining Men with,
It's raining, man.
with the Weather Girls.
Will always be.
Yes! Here we go, guys.
Yes.
I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet. It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen. It's raining men. Hallelujah. Rough and tough and strong and mean. God bless Mother Nature. She's a single woman too. Yeah. She took our heaven and she knew what she had to do now. She brought every angel. Oh yeah. Rearrange the sky. Each and every one. It's raining men.
Amen! It's raining men. Amen.
Amen.
I love that. Ingrid, you'd mentioned before that you came from a background of banking. So I'm curious to know where did you learn your business skills? Because not only do you need to have you need to practice your vocals and keep that under control and continue working on your craft, but it's also very important to have a business sense. And like I mentioned before, nobody really teaches us this. It's a trial and error, just going through
Nobody really
life.
teach- yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you, or who do you look to, or what is the source of knowledge that you've leaned on to maintain a successful and a sustainable business for yourself?
I learned a lot from Sissy Houston. I worked with her for about 12 years,
Yeah.
and we did 2 Grammy award-winning albums and all that good stuff. I was part of her choir, and I was the director in her church.
Wow.
A lot through her by asking her questions. The thing is, you can't be afraid to ask questions.
True.
Either they're going to tell you or they're not.
That's
But,
why I'm
some
asking
people
you.
like-
That's why
Right.
we're asking.
some people don't like to tell their business,
Yeah.
because they want to keep it to themselves. But how else are we going to learn?
Absolutely.
And I don't ever want to underbid
No.
or overbid.
Mm.
I want to bid,
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot from even Dorothy Norwood. I worked with her in her office, and then I got the opportunity to open up for her at a concert.
Wow.
And that's when I learned a little business skills, negotiating and all that stuff, because you kind of got to pull teeth every now and then.
Absolutely.
And I learned a lot from James Last,
yeah.
working with him
Yeah.
for about 12 years here in Berlin, 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
And just learned the business aspect of it. I have a dear friend, Anna Taboon.
We love Anita.
Honey,
Shout
I
out.
love me some Anna Taboon.
Anita.
And she don't mind sharing. She don't mind asking. I don't mind asking. Her husband is really great at it. And that's how I got it connected with Sarah Connor, working with her. So that was my first big thing for the Gospel Voices of America.
Yeah.
doing a tour and negotiating everything, making sure they get this, making sure they get that. I said, oh, here we go. I'm typing away and I'm calculating over here.
Yeah.
I'm doing all my things.
That's what you've been so great at, and I think that's why you're you've had such an impact not only on our community here, but it goes way beyond because and you're really a beaming light in our community because you never are afraid to ask and include people and encourage people to be part of something. You always give a helping hand to other singers and make them do their thing. That's why I love you so dearly, because when I first got to Berlin, you were one of the first artists who encouraged me and were like, hey, Andy, come, let's do this. And like you said, there's not a lot of singers. A lot of singers are afraid of sharing the stage, but actually it's really, it's really when you share that your own light expands way beyond.
That's right.
Beyond.
That's right. It also shows that you're confident in what you have to share.
Yes.
Yeah, that you're not trying to upstage the person, or the person not trying to upstage you. You bring what you bring.
Absolutely.
Simple. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, in the vaults of Miss Ingrid Arthur, here is a little snippet of another song I wanted to show because, speaking of working internationally, this little snippet is of you guesting with a choir in Norway. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that. It's with conductor Martin Elfsen, I think his name is.
Elfsen, yeah.
Yes.
I met him actually through the James Last tour. He's followed James Last for years.
Wow.
And then he became a fan of the singers that I was with, me, Sonia Simon, Matt, Tracy. And he would always come backstage just to say hello. And then one year he came back, he said, listen, I may have an opportunity for you if you would accept it.
Yeah.
And we've been working together for a minute. We've been working together. He writes wonderful, wonderful music and gospel music. Yeah. He's actually a dear friend of the late Andre Crouch.
Wow.
So I was hoping to get to meet him through Mark.
Yeah.
Andre Crouch. Hey.
The Titan himself in gospel music.
But he's a really great guy, and that's how I got to Norway with his amazing. He got like 2 or 3 choirs, and they sound impeccable. I'm telling you.
They do.
They do.
And I'm it's called the Short and Sweet Session. I wish I could play the full clip, but here is a little snippet of Ingrid Arthur with what's the name of the choir again in Norway? Martin.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was because he had like 2 or 3.
Okay, so this is one of the choirs from Norway with you singing "Bridge Over Troubled Water." Yes, ma'am. Ingrid Arthur singing Bridge Over Troubled Water. Speaking, I had my good friend last week, Julie, and we talked about we nerded out on vocals. And speaking about, not always sharing, singers don't always share tricks and, secrets. But I'm very curious to hear what was not only what is your vocal inspiration, but also what are some of the things that you found in your voice that you want to develop that you want to become better at.
Yeah.
Not that you need to, by the way. Not that you need to. I'm just asking from a point of view because we're constantly evolving, and there's always something that we want to. Okay, I want to do this or nerd out on or
Yeah. Listen, I was doing a gospel brunch. I can't think of the place. It was somewhere near the Cool Down. Jaggers.
Yes.
Kelvin Shore. Kelvin
Yes.
Shore and I were doing the jazz brunch there. And it was there that I probably tapped into it, the jazz part of my voice
Yeah.
that I did not really know that I had.
Mm.
It's not full, but it's just enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I tapped into that because, for one, Kelvin is a jazzist
We love
piano
him.
player to his heart.
Yes.
You know, and so listening to his chords, and I'm hitting other notes instead of just all those major chords. I'm hitting minor and fifth and all this stuff. I was like, all right, Ingrid. I kind of tapped into it. And
You went to new places. Yeah.
Went to new places.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really, really, I did. And I said, I'm going to try this song, but I had to do it my way.
Of course.
Now, I wasn't trying to be, a jazz vocalist, but you would definitely hear that she can sing jazz.
Yeah. That's amazing. And speaking of, who are some of your biggest inspirations vocally?
Well, I love Miss Aretha Franklin,
Of course.
and of course I
Aretha
love
lives in you, and she lives in your vocal cords. We
baby.
hear that.
See somebody fall out. If I had a chance to meet her, I'd have fell plumb out.
I did. Okay, this is not a lie. This is a true story. New York City. I just arrived. I was at the Rhythm and Blues Foundation in New York City, in Midtown Manhattan, and I walked into the Rhythm and Blues Foundation. I had just gotten to know Ashford and Simpson, and on stage while I walked in, it was Bonnie Raitt. It was the end of the show. Bonnie Raitt,
I love her
Aretha
too.
Franklin, Nick and Valerie was there. Bootsy Collins,
Singing that-
and at
singing
some
that
point, Aretha walks past me, but I'm like super chick. I'm like, I just arrived in New York City. I was like, standing there totally frozen. Can I ask her? I didn't even do anything. I froze. But she was literally one and a half meters away from me. One and a half COVID meters away from me.
Wow. I don't somehow just touch something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something. Because I love me some Aretha Franklin.
We love Aretha
Bonnie
Franklin.
Raitt, I love as well. I was going to mention her.
Who?
I love her music. Bonnie Raitt.
Oh yes, Bonnie Raitt. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. And I love, I like country singer Dolly Parton, believe it or not.
Oh wow, yes, absolutely.
I love her music and her style.
It's
And Patti LaBelle, of course.
of course the soprano for life.
Yeah, that's not me, but I love her. But I do like some
That's
of her,
like-
her ways of singing. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah. There's
absolutely.
a couple more people, but I would say, definitely Aretha is my top notch. And of course, working with Cissy Houston, the songbird soprano
Oh my
of
goodness.
all ages. I mean,
Yeah.
she'd be singing sometimes, right?
Yeah.
We be in the background and say, she can't go no higher. She's done. And she well out another note, we be like, okay,
Oh
this
my
is a
goodness.
soprano of life.
Wow.
And I get a lot of inspiration from her because I want to be not just a lead singer, but someone that's called upon to put the voices together to be in the back of other things, other projects, and other artists themselves. And that's what I'm getting into. That's what I'm getting into. That's like the next chapter for me.
But that is what we talked about. This when we had an amazing union of amazing artists that Ingrid put together a few weeks ago. Ingrid,
Yeah,
I don't know when it's coming out, but she put a project together called all her singer friends, and we showed up at the church on the west side of Berlin, and this is something that Ingrid knows how to do, and she just does it effortlessly. And people, whenever she calls, everybody shows up because everybody wants to be part of Ingrid, because when you call her, she'll do the same for you, and you do it so effortlessly. And I want to show this. It segues perfectly to this next video because for the people out there who are beyond the German-speaking territories, this snippet of song that I want to show is by she's a major artist here in not only in Germany but in German-speaking countries, Sarah Connor, and you were instrumental in putting the singers together for her major hit. She had a huge comeback with a song called Vincent, and you were not only facilitated the singers for the video, but also for the tour. So all of our peeps were on the road with her. So you said you want to do it, but you're doing it. You're already doing it. How was that experience? putting
Well,
all this thing
she's
together.
super major cool. That's first of all. I mean, she's really literally like your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
You can say, "Hey, are you busy next week for a coffee?" Sure, come by. Or sure, let's meet.
Oh wow.
Major cool.
Yeah.
And she loves people.
Mm.
Even I was careful in who I chose.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want nobody messing it up. So, you know what I mean?
You had to keep it
You got
clean.
some people that'll try you, and they will try and step in front of you
Okay.
and put a little buzz in her ear about this and that, and before you know it, you're out of it.
Yeah.
So,
the 101 in putting not only your team together, but also knowing which singers you need to put, because
yeah.
everybody wants to at some point want to be a lead, but when you're singing
And
background,
I ain't mad at you. I ain't
no,
mad at you.
but
Just put on my time.
you need to know your place, especially as a vocalist. When
gotta
you're
know your
singing
place.
backup,
Like-
then that is a trait, that is a talent in itself, to know how to function in
Yeah.
that particular constellation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously you had to double check your list of singers to put that.
I had to double check my list of singers, and speaking with her wonderful husband Florian,
Yeah.
and it was great. And they called us at the last minute. I'm not sure if something didn't work out before or what happened. I don't know. I don't ask questions.
But it was divine. It was divine timing, because it was the right group of people.
And that when we did that, we thought that was the end of it. And then we were in Norway doing a tour,
Oh my goodness.
and she called the number that's on Facebook. I got the wrong number on Facebook. I got any number on Facebook. She said, I keep calling. She emailed me. I keep calling your number, but it's not going through.
Oh God.
Then she asked me would we be available for her tour.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
I'm like,
Won't he
oh.
do it?
My gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Guys, here's a little snippet of Sarah Connor's Vincent featuring the Gospel Voices of America, facilitated by the one and only Miss Ingrid Arthur. That was all American singers singing Auf Deutsch in German. Okay. Full out in
It was
German.
like a week and a half before. We were like, okay, we got it.
We got it.
I challenged myself and I did great.
You sounded amazing, guys. I wanted to talk about your journey to becoming a successful solo artist. You and I had private short moments talking about this journey, and sometimes we as artists face a little bit of insecurity and the jitters, doing it. But you eventually did it. But why did it? Why at this certain time in your life? What was it that kept you from jumping into it and folding out your wings into a successful artist, solo artist that you are today? And how did you do it?
I would have to say that I can be a procrastinator. The thing is, I can see the vision, then I have trouble doing it. I say, I know it can happen. I know it can, if I can just do this. And then, but I don't think about it anymore, and I just do it.
Yeah.
And then it just opens up for me.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I'm still struggling with what is successful as a singer.
The concept
I
of
don't know if
success.
that-
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that means a lot of money in the bank. I don't know if that means having big houses and cars, or if that means being able to do what you love to do
That part.
and never have been broke.
That part.
Now I've been down to my last dime.
We all
And I wasn't
have.
broke.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
as they call it, I'm poor but not broke. Something like that.
Yeah.
But for that would be successful for me, because I haven't had a 9 to 5 in over 25 years, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Probably 25 years. I'm 53, so I would say 25.
And I think that's why.
I haven't needed to get one.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong. If I need one,
She's
I'll
not
go
too
get
shy.
one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it. I've had it before, and I'll do it again if I need it.
Yeah.
But I am blessed. I tell you that I have a friend of mine that I speak to probably like once or twice a year. She said, "Girl, you still doing what you love to do."
Amen.
and haven't needed anything. Haven't had to ask anybody. Oh gosh, I asked my mama one time for rent, and I said I would never ask her again. And I was in New York City.
Yeah. Well, we all did that at some point in New York City. It was not easy living.
New York City.
You know what, Ingrid?
Nice.
I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful that you're being so transparent about this. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And one of the core reasons why I wanted to do this series is to just have an open dialogue with fellow artists, and to have each other to we can walk hand in hand on the journey.
Yeah.
And also, success is a subjective thing, but I would say when you mentioned those three things, it was a ladder. It's the fact that you can do this and go to bed feeling happy and feeling inspired, and you keep doing what you love to do, because like we were quickly on Facebook yesterday, and you were like, I'm sick and tired of seeing people checking out. Life is so short. It's so fragile and so short. And what would you look back at your life and say, damn, I should have done this? No.
Should have done that. Should have done that. Yeah.
And I think it's so important for us artists to, especially during these times, to just, because I think COVID has done one thing, and that is reset the world mentally. Yeah. I mean, if you take opportunity, mentally, spiritually, financially, for some, reset on all levels, and you can rebuild from that. And we are in the time where I think it's more important to be honest and transparent. I think we've been on a trajectory that has been very even more superficial, and I'm not judging about that, but I think especially we as musicians, all of the work comes from within first and then out, and is more relevant than ever to state that and to speak from that point of view, to touch other people, and to, especially for younger artists who are coming up, to show them, who grew up, by the way, they grew up with X Factor and all these talent shows, and although in earlier times there was maybe just Star Search and stuff like that, but it was not as broad as it is today. So their vision of success is maybe one-dimensional, because they think that's it. There's so many other ways, but you touched on it. You just said it. It's like you're waking up, doing what you love, bringing communities together, uplifting your community. And that's what I love you for so much, because you are really trailblazer for all of us musicians here in Berlin, doing what you do, and inviting us all on this journey as well with you. So I really appreciate it.
There's so many more to invite. Just they have to be, certain time and place. I hadn't got to probably half, but I would like to work with.
You need to double check them before they get on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to check them out first. Make sure.
But this pandemic, I'm telling you, it has broken me down in some ways.
Yeah.
And built me up in a better way, molded me better than what I was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that it really took a toll, I'm sure, on all of us, mentally.
Yeah.
Of course, physically. Woo.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful and grateful that I had the music to keep me through. Amen. I mean, I don't know what other people do that are not singers, or that don't connect to music but listen to it. But I connect to music, and I'm telling you, honey, it just held me till I couldn't be held no longer. So I'm really thankful for going through that transition, and still going through it. But I'm again grateful and thankful.
You have a safe place to land on. Absolutely. Speaking of great music, it is the short and sweet session. So for the last few weeks, we've been doing a short musical offering. Are you up for a little musical offering together?
I am.
And you know what I love about this series as well is that I get to try. To be honest, I haven't been prior to the series. I haven't been practicing much the piano, and we're so busy doing our thing, and producing shows and putting events together. And there's so many things to handle when you're an independent artist, and sometimes just practicing vocal and practicing piano, it doesn't come first on the list, because you have to handle other stuff first. But the fact that we get to do this is, I get to
let me clap for you too, Andy, because you really, honey, I saw
Oh,
you on those last things playing piano. I said, he is really, oh, he's really playing. Oh,
don't
you're
put
a
don't
piano player.
don't put me on the spot. Don't put me on the spot. I'm not
I'm
bluesy
like, oh
stuff is not my
my
strongest. Bluesy stuff is not my strongest side. But let's try this. Do you hear this?
I was born in a little tent. Oh, like a girl out there. It's been a long day coming, but I know change gonna come. Woo! Oh yes, hard living, to die. Way beyond the sky. It's been a long, long time coming. I know change gonna come.
Comes in. Yes, I go to the movies.
Hey,
Yeah, I go downtown. People keep telling me, boy, don't you hang around. Well, it's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Well, yes it will.
I go to the movies town. And keep telling me it's been a long, long time coming, but I know change gonna come. It's a part right here.
Yeah.
I go, my brother. I say, brother, please, can you spare a dime? Can you spare just a dime? I'm just there were times when I felt I wouldn't last very long. God, I am being so it's been a long coming. Been a long time coming, but I know change on kingdom come. Kind of messed it up. Sorry. That's what I That's what I
Yes, I love it.
It got to be just like that.
Cheers, guys. As we say in Germany, German-speaking countries, Prost, everybody. Yes, we made it through, Ingrid. Thank you. You sounded amazing. Took it to church. Oh my God. Guys, I'm not going to keep you too long. We're not going to stay for the long and loud session. We're going to go back to the short and sweet session because it is 40 degrees up in here. And, right? Oh my God. But at least summer's back. So before we move on, I do have a few more questions, but I just want to pull up the links, your links. People, you can find Ingrid Arthur at ingridarthur.com. And on Instagram, she's the Ingrid Arthur. And on Facebook, yeah, THEE Ingrid Arthur. And on Facebook, she's MZ Ingrid Arthur. And you mentioned that you actually, you can't see this, but I'm pulling up your flyer for, is this Saturday? Hold on, what is
Saturday? Yeah,
Saturday with your beautiful red dress, Ingrid Arthur and Band. Guys, please check out Ingrid Arthur and Band at Zigzag Club, Jazz Club on Saturday.
Help us push through.
Come through.
We hope
there are two shows, 7:30 and 9:30. Yes.
9:30. Yeah.
For the music,
they still have that ministry going on where they can only let 40 people in at one time.
it's COVID, so first come, first serve. So be
First
sure
come,
to
first
get your
serve. We
ticket.
hopefully-
Make sure you go. Come support Ingrid and her band, and get blessed, because that's what you will be. You'll be blessed on Saturday. So, but guys, before I let you go, I know you have a very busy schedule, but I need to just play a little game of trivia with you. Are you game for a little game of trivia?
Well, I got time. That's all we got is time right now.
Standing ovation for that. Yes. Okay. This might be a little bit hard, but it gets.
Gosh.
No, it's not that hard because you're a musician. That's why it's hard, because I want to ask you, name me your top 5 favorite singers of all time.
5
Yes.
favorite singers.
Yes.
Aretha Franklin,
Yes.
Whitney Houston.
Yes. Absolutely.
I like Angie Stone.
Oh my God. Yes.
I love that. Yeah. Jill Scott.
Yes.
And again, Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt. Yes. Well, I guess it was not that difficult. Yay! Passed it.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the very first album that you bought? Don't be a pirate here. Don't say that you downloaded for free.
No. Listen, we didn't have download
LP,
at that time.
vinyl. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you, my first LP was Helen Reddy.
Wow.
That Delta Dawn
Wow.
took me in.
All right.
Delta Dawn, what's that flower you have on? Could it be? Yeah, I love that song. Delta, honey.
Oh my God, amazing. All right, a simple question. I don't know this about you, but what is your favorite color?
Oh, my favorite color is anything loud. Pink, yellow, red, fuchsia, blue. I like color.
Colors.
It helps my energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
my
And you look beautiful in that red dress, by the way. I love those new pictures.
Thank you.
She's
Thank you.
beautiful and loud. Beautiful.
Thank
and
you. That's
loud.
what I like to be. Beautiful,
Yes.
loud, and black.
Yes, amen. All right. What I want to ask Miss Ingrid, what would you like your legacy to be in all that you do? What would you like people to remember you for?
Oh gosh, to really know, because some people I'm hard on. When I see that there's so much more in them, that I always try to bring out the best in people, and that I always shared the stage.
She did. Absolutely. Miss Ingrid Arthur, You are such a blessing. I love you. You are.
Thank you. You too, Andy. Thank
You-
you for this platform, and I hope it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That you have to move out of where you are to a bigger place. How about that?
Yes, it's
You have
on.
you that you have your What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is that green. That green, you know, when you have on the beach white sand and you look through the water, it's not really green, it's not really blue. It's like this greenish seafoam
Right,
green.
right. Well,
It's not
that
really
you have
aqua blue, it's like seafoam green, somewhere in between that.
that you have your own talk show. You have this green couch for your special guest to sit on.
Okay? Yes. Yes. Let's put it out in the atmosphere. Yes, God. Thank you so much, Ingrid,
Thank you.
For
Thank
blessing
you.
us with your music, your voice, your love, your talent, and your inspiration. And you know, we're sweating pearls here because it is hot. So
Honey, it ain't no joke up in here. I got to put on makeup.
no, you look beautiful. So I want to leave the kids out there with your single. This is my body. Would you just give a few words? Speak a few words about this project and what it meant, what it means to you.
That has been in the folders for a while, for years, and Heart Tones pulled it back up, the record label, and we did it. The videos with two of my dearest friends.
Yeah,
and
I see them in the background. Yeah.
the producers are in there too, as well as Frank DeLay from Seed, who I work with as well on his tour.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just a fun song. This is my body. Listen, it's a song to give you confidence, no matter if you're big or small. If you're not confident in what you do, you know, take it or leave it. This is my
Yes.
body,
Absolutely.
and music is my soul.
Wow. Amen.
Yeah.
With that
Yeah.
said, guys, please enjoy This Is My Body. Ingrid Arthur, I love you. I can't wait to see you in real
I
life.
love you.
And we see each other soon. So till then, send my love to your beautiful husband, and stay happy, healthy, joyful. And till next time, guys. Oh, by the way, we just have to see if people are sending love here. Rebecca says, so wonderful to see you. We have my brother from New York City, who's the host of Sugar Bar, Ashford and Simpson's Sugar Bar. Jay
I remember
Nice.
Sugar Bar.
Sugar
Yes.
Bar! Jay Nice,
Yes.
Jay Cousins. I'm actually staying up late. I mean, Berlin time. I have to sing at 3 a.m. in the morning because they're streaming, Sugar Bar streaming tonight at 7 p.m. So I promised them I was going to be, doing a little something. So
Good.
Jay Nice sends love. Yes. So guys out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Ingrid, thank you for spending your evening
Thank
with
you.
me. I love you, and I'll see you guys soon. So this is my body. Yeah.
This is my body, music is my soul. See your eyes, they reflect your doubt. Trust me now,
every man like bones, baby.